Thank you, sir. We are able to see you as well.
Yes, sir. You can see me.
You can click on the camera icon in case you want to switch off your camera, and you can click on the microphone icon to mute yourself.
हे आपलं चालू आहे ना गौतम गेलं आलं की येस तर ह्याच्यात आपलं हे ऑन करायची काय गरज आहे आपल्याला व्हिडिओ टू हुआ इससे मेरे दिमाग में आया कि आप देखिए
To kindly switch on their videos. Thank you.
shareholder, I am CS SK Das, General Manager, Board Secretary of Union Bank of India, wants to say, respected MD and CEO Shri Rajkiran Rai ji, Executive Director Shri Gopal Singh Gosain, Shri Dinesh Kumar Garg, Shri Manas Ranjan Biswal, Shri Nitesh Ranjan, our non-executive directors on the welcome to each one of you to this 19th annual general meeting of the bank. In view of the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing norm to be followed and pursuant to the circular issued by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Securities Exchange Board of India and in compliance with the other applicable provisions, the 19th annual general meeting of the bank is being conducted through VC or OAVM facility, which does not require physical presence of the shareholder at a common venue. The deemed venue of the AGM shall be central office situated at Mumbai. The bank has engaged K-Fintech Technologies Limited, K-Fintech Technology Private Limited to provide facility for remote e-voting for participation in the AGM through VC or OAVM facility and e-voting during the AGM. Attendance of the members participating in the AGM through VC or OAVM facility shall be counted for the purpose of reckoning the quorum. The quorum of 5 shareholders is required in terms of the Regulation 58I of the Union Bank of India Shares and Meeting Regulations 1998. For conducting the annual general meeting, I confirm that required quorum is present. Shri Rajkiran Rai ji, Managing Director and CEO sir, will chair this annual general meeting. May I now request our Managing Director and CEO Shri Rajkiran Rai sir to take it forward and commence the proceedings of the AGM.
Good morning, shareholders. On my personal behalf and on behalf of the Board of Directors and the employees of the bank, I extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the 19th AGM of your bank. This meeting is held through video conferencing and other audio-visual means because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is in compliance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the Government of India, and the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The bank has taken all feasible steps to ensure that shareholders are provided an opportunity to participate in the annual general meeting and vote. The requisite quorum, as per Union Bank of India Shares and Meetings Regulations 1998, for the AGM being present, I call the meeting to order. As the physical attendance of shareholders has been dispensed with, the appointment of proxies by shareholders was not needed. As no shareholder other than central government holds more than 10% of the paid-up equity share capital of the bank, provision of Section 3(2)(e) of the Banking Companies Acquisition and Transfer of Undertakings Act 1970 regarding restriction of voting rights, more than 10% is not restricted. I welcome Shri Sanjay Kumar Jha, Under Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, authorized by Government of India to participate in the meeting as its representative. Now let me take the pleasure of introducing the directors on the board of your bank participating in this annual general meeting. We have Shri Gopal Singh Gosain, Executive Director, Shri Dinesh Kumar Garg, Executive Director, Shri Manas Ranjan Biswal, Executive Director, Shri Nitesh Ranjan, Executive Director, Dr. Jayadev Madhugula, Shareholder Director, Srimati Preeti J. Rao, the Shareholder Director. Dr. Jayadeva Madhugula is also participating as a Chairman of the Audit Committee and the Stakeholders Relationship Committee in this meeting, and he will respond to queries pertaining to these committees, if any. The notice dated July 5th, 2021, convening this annual general meeting, together with the annual report for the financial year ended 31st March 2021, has been circulated to the shareholders of the bank electronically. The notice of AGM was published in the Business Standard in English and Hindi, the Press Journal in English and Navashakti in Marathi on July 10th, 2021, as required under Union Bank of India Shares and Meetings Regulations 1998 and Regulation 44 of SEBI, Listing Obligation and Disclosure Requirement Regulation 2015, read with Rule 25 of the Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014 as amended for providing remote e-voting facility. With your consent, I shall take them as read. As per the listing regulations, it has been made mandatory for all listed entities to provide remote e-voting facility to all shareholders to encourage wider participation of shareholders in decisions. The remote e-voting period commenced at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 7th August 2021 and ended at 5 p.m. on Monday, 9th August 2021. Shareholders who have not voted through remote e-voting facility can vote at the end of the meeting through the link provided in your screen. The bank has appointed C.S. Mansi Damania of Measures JMJA and Associates LLP, practicing company secretaries as scrutinizer for remote e-voting and e-voting of poll at the meeting. Shri Raja Pandit, shareholder of the bank, will act as second scrutinizer for voting by poll during the meeting. Dear shareholders, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the bank, I extend my warm welcome to all the shareholders present today. At the outset, I pay homage to those who lost their lives to the COVID pandemic. I would like to express my heartiest gratitude to all the stakeholders for their support and thank all the employees for their relentless efforts in navigating through the testing times. Before I share about the bank's business and financials in the financial year 2021, let me begin with a brief on the macro environment. The year 2021 was dominated by the COVID-19 pandemic and the resultant economic downturn, the most severe one since the global financial crisis. The lockdowns and social distancing norms brought the economies to a standstill. The governments and the central banks across the world deployed a range of policy tools to support their economies. Public health policy became central to tackling this all-pervasive crisis. The supportive measures helped to contain the severity of the crisis, and by mid of 2020, global growth started gradually recovering by ongoing vaccination drives, sustained accommodative monetary policies, and further sizable fiscal stimulus. However, the emergence of second wave of COVID-19 has once again imparted greater uncertainty to the outlook. For the Indian economy, for the year 2020-21 was challenging due to both supply and demand side disruptions due to the pandemic. The Indian economy entered a technical recession in the first half of financial year 21, with GDP plunging by 24.4% in the quarter 1 of financial year 21 and 7.4% in the quarter 2. However, the country ended the financial year 2020-21 with a contraction of 7.3%, which was better than expectations. The government has ramped up its fiscal spending through Atmanirbhar scheme and RBI through a favorable monetary policy and liquidity enhancing measures ensured support for the economy. The growth momentum returned towards the end of financial year 2020-21, partly due to the opening up of the economy, resulting in the pent-up demand and removal of supply-side restrictions and free movement of goods and services. The economy has been resilient despite successive waves of COVID disrupting business. We can look forward to a good recovery this year, and this may bode well for the banking sector to revive its activities in the days ahead. The banking environment has remained volatile during the financial year 2021. Credit offtake during 2020-21 was muted, with non-food credit growth decelerating to 5.6% as at the end of March 21. The slowdown in credit growth has been broad-based across all major sectors except agriculture. Aggregate deposits of scheduled commercial bank registered a strong growth during the financial year 2021 in spite of considerable moderation in interest rates, reflecting risk-averse behavior of depositors and lack of lucrative alternative investment avenues. The asset quality of scheduled commercial banks improved during 2020-21, with the overall non-performing assets ratio of scheduled commercial banks declining to 7.5% in March 21 from 8.4% in March 20, reflecting the regulatory dispensation in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Your bank post-amalgamation. The global business of your bank has more than doubled after the amalgamation of erstwhile Corporation Bank and erstwhile Andhra Bank into Union Bank of India. The amalgamation has resulted in significant improvement in the geographical penetration of Union Bank across the country. With the amalgamation, your bank has become the fifth largest public sector bank in terms of business with extensive network of offerings. The bank now enjoys a larger capital base and optimally positioned to build deeper banking relationships with its corporate and retail customers. Post-amalgamation, your bank has designed future-ready organization structure for central office and field to ensure high accountability and fulfilling strategic imperatives for the bank. Your bank has initiated post-amalgamation transformation journey with focus on increased digitization. We have harmonized all products, processes, and policies in line with the best practices in the industry. Information technology landscape integration of e-Corporation Bank and e-Andhra Bank with Union Bank of India was completed on 30th November 2020 and 25th January 21, respectively. The entire IT transformation was completed, ensuring minimal disruption to customers. The integration of all branches and delivery channels of erstwhile Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank opens huge opportunity for customers and enhances the bank's capability to offer innovative products and services. The amalgamation helped the bank to realize synergies in terms of revenue expansion, cost reduction, business rationalization. The plan has identified both recurring and one-time across functions with estimated cumulative monetary value in the next 3 years. The amalgamation has strongly positioned your bank to fulfill the vision of future-ready bank. The global business of the bank stood at 15,77,490 crores as on March 31, 2021. The total deposits increased to rupees 9,23,805 crores as of 31st March 2021. Out of this, CASA share stood at 36.33% as on 31st March 2021. Gross advances stood at 6,53,684 crores as of 31st March 2021. The RAM, that is the retail, agriculture and MSME sector advances stood at 3,67,825 crores as of March 31st, registering an annual rate growth at 8.40%. The RAM share in total domestic advances improved from 52.6% as of March 2020 to 57.7% as of March 2021. As against statutory target of 40% under priority sector advances, your bank achieved 42% of the adjusted net bank credit for the quarter ended 31st March 2021. Profits and profitability. Your bank reported an operating profit of 19,259 crores for the year 2020-21 as compared to 9,181 crores on standalone basis for 1920. Net profit of the bank stood at 2,906 crores for the year 2020-21. During the year 2020-21, return on average assets stood at 0.27%, whereas return on equity stood at 6.68%. The gross non-performing assets of the bank stood at 89,788 crores as of 31st March 21. As a percentage of gross advances, it was 13.74%. Net NPA of the bank stood at 27,281 crores as of 31st March 21, and the net NPA ratio stood at 4.62%. The capital adequacy ratio as per Basel III norm stood at 12.56% as on 31st March 2021. Common equity Tier 1, that is CET1 capital of the bank, stood at 9.07 in March 21. Your bank has issued and allotted Basel III compliant Tier 1 bonds of 1,705 crores and Tier 2 bonds of 2,000 crores during the year 2020-21. Your bank is striving to streamline the banking services for customers with cutting-edge technology. The bank is adopting the centralization, automation, integration of internal business processes in order to enhance quality of services and to improve the turnaround time. Initiatives taken by your bank, example like PAPL, that is pre-approved personal loan facility, straight-through processing of online retail and MSME loans, implementation of E2E digitization for Shishu Mudra loans up to rupees 50,000, dial a loan facility for various loan products up to 5 crores, loan origination through multiple channels like missed calls, SMS and call center, digital leads, sourcing through PSB loans in 59 minutes, Bank Bazaar, etc. are important for digital onboarding of customers. Your bank has also implemented doorstep banking facility for financial and non-financial services for our customers at 100 locations across the country during the year. A system of identifying early warning signals has been put in place to proactively identify the signals of stress warnings in the borrower accounts to facilitate taking timely corrective steps. Advanced analytical tools are being utilized to predict early stress signals covering non-SMA and non-NPA portfolio of the bank's advances to facilitate initiating necessary measures to maintain the health of loan book. In order to enhance IT security, the bank has implemented cyber security framework and instituted Cyber Security Operations Center. A dedicated, skilled team is deployed to manage the CSOC. The CSOC helps to identify, detect, protect, and prevent the cyber threats. Strengthening human capital, your bank strives to offer the best-in-class employment experience by investing in its human capital and taking measures to constantly reinvent its people processes. Your bank has been at the forefront in introducing industry best practices to empower its workforce as well as to meet the corporate objectives. Your bank initiated the process of succession planning for all critical roles. Individual development plans have been prepared as customized development paths for high potential candidates to enable them to take up the critical roles a few years from now. The financial year 2020-21 has heralded a new era of distributing gains among stakeholders. The performance-linked incentives are derived from profit dynamics at operating and net level. Based on profits during financial year 2020-21, the bank has declared 5 days of PLI for all employees. This is just a beginning, though. We can further improve with resolute efforts at all levels. Ease is a part of reforms agenda initiated by the government to increase efficiency of public sector banks across every domain and to measure the performance on a common index on a quarterly basis. Your bank has taken several initiatives and implemented measures to improve the efficiency under Ease agenda. Your bank secured third position as per the latest ranking for the quarter ended December 2020 as against the 8th rank in the baseline quarter ended March 20. The bank was among the top 3 banks in 4 out of 5 themes. ESG, your bank has been in the forefront in meeting its CSR commitments. Towards this, the bank has established Union Bank Social Foundation Trust in the year 2006 as an extended arm for carrying out CSR activities of the bank. UBSFT has approved 6 projects involving an amount of 78 lakhs during the year 2020-21 under various sectors like education, healthcare, community development, sanitation, etc. Your bank has continued to keep its focus on social development and equal opportunities for all segments of the society. Accordingly, the bank extended credit facilities to various weak and unreserved sections of the society, specifically women, minority community, and self-help groups. As part of its corporate governance framework, your bank has a comprehensive whistleblower policy to prevent unethical behavior. Your bank has implemented a robust compliance system along with a well-documented compliance policy. The bank is having well-documented policy on prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. Your bank has taken a number of initiatives to support the business affected by COVID. The bank was in the forefront in helping customers to tide over the liquidity crisis during the pandemic through various schemes such as emergency line of credit, personal loan schemes, SHG COVID Suvidha loan, Union Guaranteed Emergency Credit Line, Extended Partial Credit Guarantee Scheme, etc. The bank has also created awareness among borrowers on the relief measures implemented, a strict COVID-19 protocol for the safety of the customers and the staff members, and encouraged customers to use our digital products and services. The bank has received several awards and accolades during the year for its new initiatives taken in digitization, financial inclusion, HR management, customer service, etc. To name a few, your bank has received National Feather Award, Golden Peacock Award, Apex India HR Excellence Award, Golden HR Excellence Awards by World HRD Congress for its varied initiatives under HR leadership, innovation, and training. The bank has been awarded with Green Tech HR Award, the Future of Tech Congress Award for its digital transformation initiatives. The bank has received awards in Agriculture Credit and Insurance Awards 21, organized by Agriculture Today Group. The outlook for the banking sector is mixed with opportunities and uncertainties. The COVID-19 continues to be a challenge. However, the country is vaccinating fast, and it is expected that we will exit the current wave sooner than later. The bank is optimistic that our holistic approach and initiatives would help us deliver value to the customers, employees, and shareholders and fulfill our vision of future-ready bank. Let me conclude with acknowledgement to various shareholders. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the bank, I convey my sincere and other institutions for the valuable guidance and support. My special gratitude is due to all the employees of the bank for their commitment, dedication, and service. We continue to look forward for your support and patronage. Thank you. Thank you very much. I now move the ordinary resolution for discussion. Approval and adoption of accounts, standalone and consolidated, for the financial year ended on 31st March 2021, together with the reports of Board of Directors and auditors thereon. The agenda item number 2 is for raising of capital of the bank for an aggregate amount not exceeding rupees 3,500 crores by way of issuance of fresh equity shares and or preference shares or other permitted securities such as ADR, GDR or depository receipts. I now move the special resolution for raising capital. Here, to draw your attention that with regard to election of one shareholder director, the bank received only one valid nomination from Srimati Preeti J. Rao. The Board of Bank, in its meeting held on 28 July 2021, found the candidature of Srimati Rao as fit and proper, and consequently, Srimati Rao has been elected as the shareholder director as per laid down provisions. As such, agenda item number 3 for election of one shareholder director, which is scheduled to be taken up in the meeting, was cancelled. I now invite participation of the shareholders for discussing the agenda items of the meeting. Moderator of the meeting will announce speaker name one by one and will activate audio visual of the respective speaker. Before we proceed, may I make some request to the shareholders? Shareholders are requested to be brief and not to repeat the observations, queries already raised by earlier speakers. With a view to allow participation by shareholders, if a shareholder feels that his questions have already been asked by some other shareholder, he or she may choose not to speak. This will help to save the time of all the shareholders. For good order, we will endeavor to respond to all the observations and queries at the end of the discussion. Shareholders who have not yet voted may cast their votes. Now, I will hand it over to the moderator.
Thank you, sir. I would request the speaker shareholders who have joined into the event to kindly unmute their audio, switch on the video, and start asking or proceed with asking their questions once their name is announced. The first name is Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf from Calcutta. Mr. Santosh, you requested to kindly unmute yourself, switch on the video, and start with asking the question. Thank you.
Hello.
Mr. Santosh, we are able to hear you. We have unlocked your video. You can switch on the video, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. 1 minute, sir. I sharing my video.
Sure, sir. In the meantime, if you can request that since you are logging from Mr. Bharti Saraf, can I assume that Mr. Bharti Saraf and Mr. Santosh Saraf are the same person and will be speaking as one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. We got your video. Please proceed with asking your question. Thank you.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, उपस्थित निधि सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयर होल्डर भाइयों बहनों, मैं संतोष कुमार सराफ कलकत्ता से बोल रहा हूं सर। आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। आशा करता हूं आप हमारे जितने डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी हमारे अधिकारीगण हैं, जितने भी हमारे शेयर होल्डर भाई बहन हैं और जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी हैं, इस कोविड के समय में सुरक्षित और स्वस्थ होंगे सर। और सर मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ और सर मैं मेरी संवेदना प्रकट करना चाहता हूँ उन भाइयों के लिए जो इस कोविड के अंदर में हमें छोड़ के चले गए। मैं उनके परिवार के प्रति अपनी संवेदना प्रकट करता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ भगवान उनके परिवार को इस कठिन समय में बहुत हिम्मत दे और स्वास्थ्य दे सर। सर आपको भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आपकी छत्र छाया में मिस्टर राय साहब हमारी बैंक काफी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है और आशा करता हूँ बहुत ही जल्द हम उस गौरव को प्राप्त होंगे जिस गौरव पे हम पहले थे सर। और आशा करता हूँ आपके मैनेजमेंट के में बहुत जल्द हमें डिविडेंड में मिलेगा सर। मैं सर 2-3 मैंने ऐसे लेटर भेज दिया था पहले, शायद आप लोग के टेबल पर होगा, तो फिर भी 1-2 बातें मैं पूछना चाहूंगा सर कि एक तो अपने जो फ्यूचर के अंदर में नए ब्रांच खोलने के क्या विचार है और फीमेल एम्प्लॉय को एम्पावरमेंट करने के क्या विचार है, क्योंकि अभी देखिए ओलंपिक के अंदर में हमारी फीमेल ने ही हमारा नाम उज्जवल किया स्टार्टिंग से लेकर लास्ट तक। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि अपने बैंक के अंदर में फीमेल की परसेंटेज बढ़ाई जाए सर। वो क्योंकि अपना काम ऐसा है, कोई ताकत वाला भी काम नहीं है, अपना काम ब्रेन वाला है। और आपको मालूम होगा आपके घर में भी पत्नी होगी, उनका ब्रेन हमसे ज्यादा चलता है सर। इसलिए आप मैं चाहूंगा कि उनको भी आप दूसरा ये सर मैं चाहूंगा कि अपने कितने परसेंटेज एम्प्लॉय हैं जिनको आपने वैक्सीन लगा दी उनके और उनके फैमिली के लिए सर है, और उनका अगर कोई किसी ने प्राइवेट में लगाई है तो उसका खर्चा आपने रिसम्बर किया तो उसके बारे में बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर। और एक मैं जानना चाहूंगा सर, अपने कहीं अपनी बिल्डिंग है, मान लो अपनी खुद की बिल्डिंग है, उसके वहां पर रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग के बारे में क्या कदम उठाया है सर। और अपने रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के बारे में अपनी जो बिल्डिंग की छत है उसमें क्या आपने सोलर पैनल लगा के उसमें कोई व्यवस्था किया तो बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर। और ज्यादा समय मैं नहीं लूंगा, जो वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे हैं अपने कर्मचारी सर, उनके लिए आपने क्या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोवाइड किया जिससे वो आपस में एक दूसरे से कोऑर्डिनेट करके अपना काम अच्छे से कर सके सर। और ज्यादा समय न लेते हुए बहुत प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि आप हमारे जितने डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी हमारे अधिकारी और एम्प्लॉय हैं, उनके लिए 2021 का हैप्पीनेस, वेलनेस और सेफनेस और परफॉर्मेंस रहे। लास्ट में मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी सर आपसे, ये वीडियो को
नाम बोले तो कीजिए।
लास्ट में मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, वीडियो को मीटिंग काफी अच्छी होती है। देखिए मैं कलकत्ता से अपने दिल की बात आपसे कर सक रहा हूँ कि लेकिन बॉम्बे में जाके मीटिंग करना मेरे लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि फ्यूचर में जब भी आप इसको करेंगे इसको कंटिन्यू रखिए। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत, नमस्कार सर।
Thank you. I will move on to our next speaker, Mr. Praful Chawla from Hyderabad. Mr. Praful, would request you to kindly unmute your audio.
हेलो
Yes, sir.
क्या मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर?
हाँ जी सर, आ रही है.
ठीक है सर, फिर मैं वीडियो चालू करने की कोशिश करता हूँ.
हाँ जी सर.
हाँ सर. सर फर्स्ट तो मुझे यूनियन बैंक के AGM अटेंड करने का मौका मिल रहा है, इसके मैं बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर को. मैं थोड़े सीधे सजेशन पे आता हूँ कि सर फर्स्ट तो जो इंडिया में जो नोट फटी टूटी है उसके एक्सचेंज के लिए बहुत प्रॉब्लम आता है और इसको डिस्काउंट में देना पड़ता है. तो अपने हर एक ब्रांच में कस्टमर हो या ना हो, कोई भी आदमी नोट फटी हुए एक्सचेंज करने को आए तो इसको करने की प्रावधान रखे, ताकि आज वो कस्टमर नहीं है तो कल कस्टमर होगा, ताकि इसको बैंक की सर्विस देख के पसंद हुआ है. इसके अलावा सर अपने जो एम्प्लॉयज है इसमें कितने शहीद हुए जवान के फैमिली को या जो आर्मी रिटायरमेंट हुआ है इसको कितने लोगों को जॉब दे रहे सर. इसके अलावा ATM कार्ड, डीमेट कार्ड, डेबिट कार्ड को 10 डेज से 15 डेज लग जाता है, तो और नहीं लगना चाहिए. 2 से 3 दिन में इश्यू करना चाहिए. और डेबिट कार्ड, ATM कार्ड को इसको काम कैसे करना, इसको हैंडल कैसे करना, वो आज को समझ में नहीं आता. मेरे को खुद को तकलीफ होती है, मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता. तो इसके लिए ऑफिस के स्टाफ को सर्विस दे के फर्स्ट टाइम उसको बताना चाहिए कि आप ATM कार्ड कैसे यूज करेंगे, डेबिट कार्ड कैसे यूज करेंगे, वो भी बताएंगे सर. खासतौर पे सर छोटी अभी भी एक शेयरहोल्डर ने बताया कि लड़की है, औरत को प्रावधान दो, तो मैं बेबी गर्ल के लिए खास अकाउंट ओपन करने का अकाउंट का सिस्टम निकाले और एक नया सिस्टम बनाए कि जो भी बेबी गर्ल से पैदा होते या 1 ईयर के अंदर भी अकाउंट ओपन करे तो 3 इयर्स तक कोई भी जात का आधार कार्ड या पैन कार्ड लिए बगैर भी बेबी का अकाउंट ओपन होगा, ताकि बेबी के नाम पे पैसे जमा होगा तो एक आदत होगी बेबी को भी, और नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर में घर वाले भी सोचेंगे कि मेरी बेटी के लिए मैं कुछ जमा करूं. और सर कम से कम 50 पैसा या 25 पैसा या 10 पैसा भी खास टैक्स ले लगाइए आप. पर ओलंपिक के जो लोग जा नहीं सके पर नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर में कुछ जाना चाहते हैं, वो हार्ड वर्क करते हैं पर इसको आर्थिक सहायता नहीं मिलती है, तो एक ऐसे एम्प्लॉयज को ऐसे आदमी को, लेडीज हो जेंट्स हो, हेल्प कीजिए ताकि नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर में ओलंपिक में जाके अपने बैंक के नाम पे गोल्ड मेडल, सिल्वर मेडल या कोई मेडल लेके आए, ऐसा भी कुछ करे. धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you. I will now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Gautam Kedar Prasad Tiwari from Mumbai. Mr. Gautam Kedar Prasad Tiwari from Mumbai.
Can you listen me, sir? Can you listen me?
Yes, sir. I am able to hear you. You can please proceed with asking your questions.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to my respectable chairman, sir. Distinguished board of directors, eminent board of directors. My name is Gautam Tiwari, and I am participating at this virtual meeting from Mumbai. So your opening speech was very much useful, and we have learned quite a lot about banks working. Sir, I have received an annual report in due time, for which I am really thankful to the entire team of Merchant Banking Division. Sir, I congratulate our MD and CEO for the bank's outstanding performance, especially MD, our Rajkiran Rai. So I congratulate and appreciate the concerted efforts made by our MD, Shri Rajkiran Rai, accompanied with all 3 executive directors for this performance. Sir, Merchant Banking Division staff, employees and executives are working day and night very honestly, sincerely and loyally year on year, and providing uninterrupted investor care and investor service smilingly and pleasantly to all of us, to all customers, shareholders, stakeholders, precisely well. So which we thank the management, sir, for choosing such diamond-like personnel in our bank's bandwagon, which gives us a very good and pleasant feeling. We get excellent treatment from the bank, and right from day one, right from our daddy mummy's time, we have been associated with the bank, and we are very, very happy. Sir, if you can tell us when can we come on dividend list, and when can we start smiling for the performance of our bank still further and further. I wish a very, very good best of the future and bright days ahead for all our management and the bank, and wishing you all the best in coming future. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. We'll move on to our next speaker, Lekha Satish Shah from Mumbai. Ms. Lekha Satish Shah, would request you to kindly unmute yourself, switch on the video and proceed with asking your question, please.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman, sir, Board of Directors, and my fellow members. Good morning to all of you. Myself, Lekha Shah from Mumbai. First of all, I'm very much thankful to our company secretary and his team, especially Sumit ji, for sending very good investor services and also sending me the AGM notice well in time in such a difficult situation. So I am very grateful to our company secretary, especially Sumit ji. Sir, I am happy to see all the good deeds you have done during this difficult time. I pray to God that He always shower His blessing upon you. Sir, I would like to ask only 2 questions. My first question is, for our bank employees, brothers and sisters, in which way we are supporting our bank employees as they are COVID worries? My second question is, how is our bank operating? Are we operating from home? Are they working from the office? So, I would like to say, I strongly support all the resolutions for today's meeting and my best wishes, always our company and its prosperity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I will move on to our next speaker, Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala from Mumbai. Mr. Yusuf, would request you to kindly unmute yourself, switch on the video and proceed with asking the question, please.
Can you hear me, sir? Very good morning, sir. I'm very thankful to
Mr. Yusuf.
sir. Only one request, sir. 94 rupees your bank has charged me, sir, for a
Mr. Yusuf, we have lost your audio. Would request you to kindly refresh your data and proceed with asking the question again. Sorry, sir, we have lost the connectivity of Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala. We'll come back to him once he's able to join back again. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Sarvajit Singh from Delhi. Mr. Sarvajit Singh from Delhi, would request you to kindly unmute yourself, switch on the video and speak.
hello.
नमस्कार जी.
Nothing more to add.
हेलो, नमस्कार जी.
Haji Sarvajit ji, you can continue with asking your question, sir. Thank you. Mr. Yusuf, we'll come back to you.
सर, हेलो.
Yes, Mr. Sarvajit, you are audible.
हाँ जी, चेयरमैन सर, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर और मेरे यूनियन बैंक के सभी एम्प्लॉइज जिन्होंने पिछले 18 महीनों में एसेशनल सर्विस के अंदर आते हुए कोविड के दौरान भी अपनी मेहनत और लगन से अपने कस्टमरों की सेवा करी है, मैं सबका स्वागत करता हूं और सबकी लंबी उम्र की कामना करता हूं। सर, आपकी जो फिगर दिखती है 19th AGM आप दिखा रहे हैं, जबकि हमारा बर्थ आप दिखा रहे हैं यूनियन बैंक का 1919 में, जब जिस साल में इंदिरा गांधी का जन्म हुआ था उस साल की आप डेट देते हैं और अपनी 19th AGM आती है। तो सर, मेरी आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है, जहां यूनियन बैंक का लोगो या नाम लिखा जाए उसके साइड में एक सिंस लिखा जाए कि 1919, क्योंकि हमें कई लोगों को लगता है कि ये नया बैंक है, जबकि बैंक इतने सालों से सेवा करता आ रहा है देश की और जुड़ा हुआ है हमारे लोगों से। तो आज कल एक बाजार में अगर जाओ तो एक मिठाई की दुकान वाला भी अपना नाम लिखता है, साइड में लिखता है सिंस। तो आप भी इस बारे में जरूर जिक्र करिएगा अपनी बोर्ड मीटिंग में, अगर आपको अच्छा लगे तो आप जरूर करिएगा। ये जून क्वार्टर के रिजल्ट आपने बहुत ही माइलस्टोन दिए हैं, बहुत ही हाईली, इतनी किसी उम्मीद नहीं थी जितना आपने प्रॉफिट कमाया है आपने। तो हमारे ऊपर कोई बंदिश लगी हुई है डिविडेंड की, वो कब तक हटेगी, एनपीए कब तक कम होंगे, आप इस बारे में जरूर बताइएगा, क्योंकि पीछे एक पीएसयू बैंक में ही इंडियन बैंक है, उन्होंने डिविडेंड का डिक्लेयर किया है। तो हमारी बंदिशें कब तक हटेंगी डिविडेंड के बारे में,
आप जरूर इस बारे में बताइएगा। और हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ये 2 बैंकों के मर्जर के बाद और हो गई है, हमने उनका भी कार्य देखना है। और ब्रांचेस का क्या हिसाब हुआ है, कुछ कम हुई है ब्रांचेस, आप इस बारे में जरूर बताइए, क्योंकि कॉरपोरेशन बैंक और आंध्रा बैंक की भी मर्जर के बाद जो 1 या 2 किलोमीटर के एरिया में वो ब्रांचेज है उनको कुछ कॉस्ट कटिंग के रूप में कुछ कम किया गया है, आप इस बारे में जरूर बताइए। और मेरा सर ये कहना है कि आप ऑक्शन के द्वारा जैसे प्रॉपर्टी का सेल करते हैं, तो यूनियन बैंक की जो ब्रांचेस कई जगह रेंट पर हैं, तो क्या हम अपनी बिल्डिंग भी डेवलप कर सकते हैं? यूनियन बैंक को लोन दे सकता है? क्योंकि आप ऑलरेडी एक हैवी अमाउंट रेंट के रूप में देते हैं, तो अगर वो बिल्डिंग डेवलप हो जाए, आप ऑक्शन के जगह प्रॉपर्टियों को बेचते ही हैं, तो क्या ऐसी कोई पॉलिसी है कि यूनियन बैंक भी अपनी प्रॉपर्टी को खरीद कर उसमें डेवलप कर आज किराया दे रहा है, कल को ले लोगों से किराया, क्योंकि बिल्डिंग डेवलप होगी तो कई तरह के ऑप्शन हमें समझ आएंगे। और ये सर 2 बॉन्ड्स 9700 करोड़ के जो रेस किए थे हमने, आप उस बारे में थोड़ा अगर बताना चाहें तो बताइएगा। और मेरा आपसे ये कहना है कि जो गवर्नमेंट नॉमिनी है, मेरा उनसे है इस बारे में कि जो बैंक के ऊपर आप कई तरह के भार डालते हैं, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट का नुमाइंदा होने के नाते हम उनसे कह सकते हैं, क्योंकि स्टेक होल्ड भी उनका इस बैंक में काफी होगा, हर बैंक में है, पीएसयू में। तो मेरा उनसे ये कहना है कि ये जो लोड डाला जाता है बैंक का पब्लिक के कार्यों का, जो कि प्राइवेट बैंक कोई नहीं करके देता, सभी पीएसयू बैंक ही करते हैं, तो इस बारे में कोई बैंक उनको बिल बनाकर दे जो कि हमारी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी बढ़े, या बैंक की ब्रांच को 2 भागों में बांटा जाए, ताकि जो हमारे करंट अकाउंट के कस्टमर या जो कस्टमर हमें आमदनी देते हैं वो हमारे बैंक से भीड़ भाड़ के कारण दूर ना रहें। तो एक बैंक के अंदर क्या 2 डिवीजन बट के इस तरह का काम हो सकता है? ये गवर्नमेंट जो नॉमिनी है इनसे जरूर इस बारे में बोलिएगा, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट इलेक्शन लड़ती है, उसके बाद वो सत्ता में आती है, उसके बाद फिर अपना एजेंडा चलाती है। तो गवर्नमेंट नॉमिनी से मेरा ये जरूर कहना रहेगा कि बैंकों की दशा सुधारने के लिए आप इस बारे में जरूर करिएगा। और सर जैसे आपका रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस दिल्ली बॉम्बे में है, तो यहाँ दिल्ली में हम शेयर होल्डर हैं, आपके बैंक के भी होल्डर हैं, तो हमें कंपनी सेक्रेटरी साहब सुमित जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि कुछ हमें फैसिलिटीज उपलब्ध कराई जाए, कोई हमें परेशानी आए तो हमें कोई नंबर वगैरह प्रोवाइड कराइए सुमित जी, जो हम बात कर सकें। और जो सरकार की तरफ से नई करेंसी वगैरह का आवंटन होता है, तो उसमें कुछ शेयर होल्डरों को भी मिल सके। आजकल आपकी ब्रांच में जाओ तो वहाँ कुछ नहीं ऐसा प्रोवाइड होता, तो मेरी सुमित जी से रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी कि आप इस बारे में जरूर थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिएगा। और देश ग्रोथ कर रहा है, सब कुछ हो रहा है, लेकिन एक अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का जो पेड़ लगा था वो काफी टाइम से बढ़ता ही जा रहा है। काफी लोग बच्चे जो हैं डिग्रियां लेकर घर बैठे हैं, उन्हें नौकरियां नहीं मिल पा रही। तो आपका जो मेन गवर्नमेंट का स्टेक है इसमें, गवर्नमेंट की नीति के हिसाब से चलते हो, तो क्या आने वाले टाइम में ऐसी कोई नीति रहेगी कि आप हर साल 5-10% कोई नौकरियों में बढ़ावा दे सकें? क्योंकि कोरोना के कारण अब जैसे 10th और 12th के रिजल्ट आए हैं वो काफी हाई लेवल पे आए हैं, पास का जो है वो काफी लेवल बढ़ा है।
In the interest of time, would request you to kindly wrap your question.
बस समेट रहा हूँ जी, लास्ट ही है।
Thank you, sir.
अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का जो पेड़ लगा हुआ है उसमें कुछ कमी होगी, अगर आप 5% नौकरियां लोगों को देंगे उससे ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा। तो मैं अपना समापन करता हूँ, धन्यवाद देता हूँ सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट को जिन्होंने हमें ये लिंक दिया। जय जवान, जय किसान और जय मेरा अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट जिसको नौकरी नहीं मिल पा रही। थैंक यू।
Thank you. We'll move on to our next speaker, Ms. Devinder Kaur from Delhi. Ms. Devinder Kaur, would request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video and speak, please. Ms. Devinder Kaur. We have not received any input from Ms. Devinder Kaur. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Vishwadeep Rajak from Kaliaganj. Mr. Vishwadeep Rajak from Kaliaganj, would request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video and speak, please. We have not received any audio input from Vishwadeep Rajak, we will move on to Mr. Dinesh Gopaldas Bhatia from Mumbai. Mr. Dinesh Gopaldas Bhatia, would request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video and speak, please.
हेलो,
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
वीडियो चालू नहीं रखा सर.
सर आप वीडियो पे क्लिक कीजिए और उसके बाद स्टार्ट शेयरिंग पे क्लिक कीजिए, आपका वीडियो अपने आप चालू हो जाएगा. धन्यवाद.
अच्छा सर, पहले तो एमडी सर, मैं आपको और आपका पूरा टीम को कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन कहूँगा कि ऐसा पेंडेमिक पीरियड में भी हमारी बैंक जो है अच्छा कार्य कर रही है. हम जो 6 महीने से देख रहे हैं कि हमारी बैंक जो है वो मुनाफे में है, बोले कम मुनाफे में है, जो भी है, लेकिन लॉस में नहीं है. वो एक हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है. और आप लोग की जो मेहनत है वो दिखा रही है कि आप और आपकी टीम अच्छी मेहनत कर रही है, जिससे हमें ये मुनाफा दिख रहा है. जो हम 10 रुपये के शेयर के सामने हमारा जो स्टैंड अलोन 4 रुपया 4 पैसा 10 रुपये के शेयर के पीछे जो मुनाफा है, वो भी एक अच्छी बात है कि आप लोग की लगन दिखाती है. दूसरा, आपने और आपके डायरेक्टर बोर्ड ने जो सीएफओ ने जो प्रेजेंटेशन अभी जो दिया, उसमें भी हमें काफी जानकारी मिली कि हमारी बैंक कहाँ जा रही है, कैसा कैसा प्रगति कर रही है. बहुत अच्छी बात है, हम तो आपके साथ है. और ये भी हम सुना, मेरे आगे की स्पीकर ने भी जो कहा कि आंध्रा बैंक और कॉरपोरेशन बैंक के साथ जो हमने ले लिया, हमारे में मर्ज हो गया. तो अभी सर हमारी एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है कि जो आज की तारीख में मैं मुंबई से ही बात करता हूँ, प्रिंसेस स्ट्रीट से बात करता हूँ. प्रिंसेस स्ट्रीट की ब्रांच जो है हमारी, तो देवकान मेंशन के कंपाउंड के अंदर है, जो इधर इतनी सुविधा नहीं है. और वो जो बिल्डिंग हमने 5 साल पहले भी कहा था, तभी इन्होंने रिन्यू कराया. और आज की तारीख में भी आप देखो तो उसकी कंडीशन, आप बैंक की जो देखो तो आपको मालूम पड़ेगा कि इतना अप टू डेट नहीं दिखता हमारा बैंक. इतना 100 साल बैंक जूनी बैंक है. और मैं मानता हूँ कि ये ब्रांच जो थी प्रिंसेस स्ट्रीट की, हमारी 5 साल पहले टॉप 5 में थी, टॉप 5 अर्निंग में थी, टॉप 5 टर्नओवर में थी. तो अभी मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि ये 5 साल से मैं देखता हूँ, जब भी जाता हूँ मुझे कोई इतना एडिशनल नहीं दिखता है कि कुछ प्रोग्रेस में है. हमें तो दिखता है कि कुछ डाउन है. हमें हमारा अकाउंट भी खुद का भी ऐसा लगता है कि कभी इधर चालू रखे. मैं 25 साल से अधिक समय से मेरा अकाउंट है ये बैंक में. तो अभी मेरे वहाँ भी दूसरे भी कई लोग सोचते हो गया ऐसा. तो अगर सुविधा आपके पास, अगर कॉरपोरेशन बैंक जो आपने लिया है, उनका बाबू बेनू रोड में मेन रोड के ऊपर ब्रांच है, तो वो आप अगर उसको एक्टिवेट कर दो ज्यादा, और उसके बाजू का भी जो गाला, या तो आजू बाजू का कोई गला ले लो पीछे का, तो आपको मुझे लगता है कि हमारी ब्रांच आगे जाएंगे. दूसरी, हमने जो बीच में हमारा 5 साल पहले ये ब्रांच में कुछ एक्सीडेंट हो गया था ने कुछ छत गिर गई थी, सीलिंग, तो टेम्पररी बाजू मेन रोड पे, मंगलदास रोड पे लिया था, टेम्पररी छोटा जगह. वो जगह लेके वो कस्टमर को भी सेटिस्फाई रखे, मार्केट के जो दवा बाजार के और मंगलदास मार्केट के, उनको भी सेटिस्फाइड रखिए कि वो लोग को बाहर रोड पे रहेगा ब्रांच, तो बहुत अच्छा सुविधा, सेफ्टी भी रहती है. और मैं एक चीज जानना चाहता हूँ कि मैंने आपको वही पूछा कि 5 साल में हमारा ये ब्रांच का एक क्या है, प्रोग्रेस है कि क्या है, थोड़ा उसके बारे में अगर बाद में भी आपका सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट जानकारी देगा तो हमें थोड़ी अच्छा लगेगा कि हमारे ये 5 साल में ब्रांच में प्रोग्रेस हुआ है कि कस्टमर का आज ये साल में कितना नया कस्टमर खड़े किए हैं और कितने चले गए हैं, तो उसके बारे में भी थोड़ा आप जानकारी देंगे. लास्टली में एक ये चीज आपको जानना चाहता हूँ कि मैंने 2 साल पहले 2018-19 की मीटिंग में फिजिकल थी, तभी आपको पूछा था एजीएम में कि भाई हमारा ये जो बड़े बड़े जो डिफॉल्ट हुए थे, DHFL, ILFS, तो उनका हमारा उनका अपटाउन का जो मुझे ख्याल है उनका मैं पूछा था 3 जन का, तो तभी मेरे को ऐसा बताया गया था कि DHFL का हमारा 2000 करोड़ का था, ILFS का हमारा 1000 करोड़ का था, और हपटाउन में हमारा 270 करोड़ रुपया लेना बाकी था. तो अभी ये तीनों जन की क्या पोजीशन है, आप थोड़ी जानकारी देंगे कि उसका अकाउंट से हमें कुछ पैसे आए कि क्या उसका राइट ऑफ में कितना गया और अपने रिस्ट्रक्चर में उसको कितना किया है किसको, और अपने पास कितना पैसा आया है, तो थोड़ा ये जानकारी देंगे तो हमें बहुत खुशी होगी। बाकी तो मैं ज्यादा न कहते हुए, आपका समय न लेते हुए, आपने जो इधर बोलने का हमें मौका दिया उसके लिए आपको और आपका टीम को थैंक यू करता हूँ, और मैं हर एक रिजोल्यूशन में सपोर्ट करता हूँ। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh Gopal Das. We'll move on to Mr. Suresh Chand Jain from Hyderabad. Mr. Suresh Chand Jain from Hyderabad, we request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video and speak, please. We have not received any input from Mr. Suresh Chand Jain. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Mukesh V. Ajmera from Bangalore. Mr. Mukesh V. Ajmera, we request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video and proceed with asking the question, please.
Namaste, Sri Rajnikant Rai ji, other board of directors and all the employees of Union Bank of India. I have been a customer from my childhood, and our family were the first customer of Union Bank of India in Chennai when it started, I think around 1960 plus or minus. And since then we have enabled at least 100 customers across different branches and cities in India. So it's like a family bank for us. And I want to congratulate the bank and its past and present employees and all stakeholders for coming into the centenary year. As Mr. Sarvajit Singh said, there has to be some centenarian celebration about it, including promotion. At the outset, I would like to express my deep sorrow for the millions of people who have lost their lives, at least 40 to 50 lakh people across India and globally, due to the most unprecedented pandemic in human history, the kind of which nobody has ever seen. And it has affected, ironically, only human beings. Out of 84 lakh life species on Earth, which shows human beings need to do a lot to correct themselves. I would like to come to a few points which are of a lot of significance to all the customers, not only of Union Bank, but across the entire banking industry itself in the country. Though we have all come along a long way, the most important things are still, bothering many customers, whether small customer or, customers with large, interest in the bank, including a lot of senior citizens. For instance, technology can do quite a lot of wonders, but unfortunately, I'm very sorry to say that despite being a net savvy person, I find it extremely difficult to deal with Union Bank's net banking. And this has been the case right from the time the first avatar of net banking was started by Union Bank. Subsequently, 3-4 new avatars have come, but each one of them is more difficult than the previous one. I had come to Mumbai at your head office almost 15-16 years back. I even interacted with people there to enable what to do, what not to do. But of course, unfortunately, people keep changing, and the systems are supposed to change along with the people for betterment. SBI has the best net banking in the country. So it's as simple as emulating them. Why can't we do that? And I had even written to you, Mr. Rai, some 2 years back or so, that Andhra Bank had a very good net banking compared to Union Banks. So instead of merging into their system, the reverse was done. And that net banking of Andhra Bank has also been eliminated. So I would like you to please look into this, because see, it will have less pressure on the bank branches, and it will have a lot of facilities for customers in today's times, especially in pandemic times. People don't want to go and visit the branches. So I'll appreciate if you can please take a very serious look at the net banking. A few other things are, the finance minister has increased the insurance or the guarantee for from 1 lakh to 5 lakhs. which covers, as per her, majority of the customers and the country. But then what about the minority? Those who are having more than 5 lakh rupees, especially senior citizens, many of whom have been banking with any given bank. If they may have 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, and all the many small banks have disappeared. Of course, it's not likely to happen with larger banks, but when cybercrime and other frauds have been increasing, it is also necessary to ensure that in no matter what, in any format, people's money has to be protected. Couple of other things are separate customer service cells should be created, because a lot of times the bank service is totally dependent on the people there. It has nothing to do with the bank. It is the human relationship and the nature of the person. And I would like to acknowledge my branches.
Can you wrap up your session?
Yeah, please give me some more time, because this is important for crores of customers of not only Union Bank but other banks also. I'll wrap it up. Please allow me a couple of more minutes. I have 2-3 more points to make. So one, Mr. Satya Reddy, the BTM branch manager, has been very nice. So that extends me to think that out of the box thinking that now with the core banking, why not have a relationship manager, whoever it is, whoever has a rapport with whichever manager, even if he goes to another branch, why can't we continue having a relationship with that particular person? Isn't that possible? Now it's core banking. Everything is over, digital and otherwise. And one other thing is group health insurance. Good rates can be extracted from insurance companies for the sake of customers. And nowadays it has been increasing enormously for the last 2-3 years. One other thing is merger benefits of streamlining the branches, employees and all that of all the three branches into Union Bank. How has it benefited UBI, and what are the projections in terms of savings of money? With, of course, it's a government order, but then I'm sure some kind of working would have been done by now. So this is all I wanted to say. I will appreciate if you can please seriously look into that. And one small point for the speakers, please allot the numbers well in advance so that we know when our turn is going to come, rather than waiting for the sky as to when it's going to rain. Thank you very much. Wishing everybody, all the Union bankers, a safe and healthy life.
Thank you, Mr. Mukesh. Before we move on to the next set of speakers, I would request the speakers to kindly keep the questions limited to the AGMs. Limit the questions to 3 minutes time, and kindly do not repeat the questions which has already been initially asked by other speakers. And respect other speakers as when they are speaking, not to unmute themselves, even though we have allowed to do the same. We would move on to our next speaker, Mr. Aspi Baman-Shah Bhesania from Mumbai. Mr. Aspi, would request you to kindly unmute yourself, switch on the video and proceed with asking the question. Thank you.
Chairman, sir, can you see me and hear me?
Yes, sir.
I have the same problem like the predecessor, that speaker number is not mentioned. So I think that they could attend the afternoon meeting of G. I have received the link. Without the link, I'm not sure whether my name will be called out. The carry never informs the speaker number. Company officials have to inform the speaker number. So please inform, ask the company secretary to please inform the speaker number, so that we are ready when our number is called. So are we expected to attend the whole meeting without that? So I would request Mr. Mangesh Manrekar to send his visiting card with the cell number. So it is very nice to see all directors excepting the shareholder director in suits. I would like even the shareholder director to come in a suit next time. The net profit for Q1 has increased from 332 crore to 1,181 crore year on year, for which I congratulate entire management. I hope the same trend percolates to our share department also. So during Q1, corporate banking has incurred loss of rupees 1,593 crore. When do you expect this segment to become profitable? Our profits are due to treasury profits, for which I congratulate the treasury department also. Sir, SBI has increased the bank charges to hide the inefficiencies in NPAs. I hope our bank does not increase the bank charges, just like SBI. like so many withdrawals only allowed and so many checks allowed and all that. And sir, I would again say that dividend, don't hurry to give a dividend. First make a strong for you, even think of giving a dividend. So thank you and all the best.
Thank you. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. K. Bharatraj from Hyderabad. Mr. K. Bharatraj from Hyderabad, we request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video, and proceed with asking the question, please. We have not received any input from Mr. K. Bharatraj. Moving on to Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal from Mumbai. Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal from Mumbai. We have not received any input from Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla from Hyderabad. Mr. Ramesh Shankar, we request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video, and proceed with asking the question, please. Unfortunately, we have not received any audio input from Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla. We'll move on to our next speaker, who is from Chennai, Mr. Padmanabhan AA. Mr. Padmanabhan AA from Chennai, would request you to kindly unmute your audio, switch on the video, and proceed with asking the question, please. We have not received any input from Mr. Padmanabhan AA. We will move on to our next speaker, Celestine Elizabeth Mascarenas from Mumbai.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? I'll proceed. Please tell the operator my mic to keep it steady. Please, sir. Please, sir.
Sure,
Respected Chairman, MD Rajkiran Rai, other honorable directors, I specially welcome our government representative, Mr. Sanjay, and also I welcome shareholder director, today only elected, Mrs. Rao, on the board. My fellow shareholders attending this virtual meet. My name is Mrs. C. Mascarenas. I am from Mumbai. That physical meeting I was always attending. I would never leave a Union Bank meeting. First, I thank the company secretarial team for sending me annual report, which is good. But I would prefer, sir, a physical copy. As online, my eyes have started watering every day reading online, 2-3 balance sheets. I don't know what my position of my eyes will become. So please, I even request the government authority who is sitting representative, please consider the problems of the old people. One side eyes, another side back, we'll end up in spondylitis. Sir, now I come to working. Working is very good. I am really happy, sir. Deposit up, advances up, global business up, PBT, PAT up, net NPA, gross NPA 13.74, net NPA 4.62%, capital adequacy is also up. So what is not good now, I'll say, is the market capitalization. We are more than 100 years. Whatever is showing after the IPO that years is not the right year. We are more than 100 years. And I see a valuation. I am very sad. My bank is so strong with 2 banks joining, and such a strong also corporation bank from the south side, Andhra from the Andhra Pradesh, Andhra Bank, and we are a giant. And day by day, market is not giving, sir, thumbs up. I feel so sorry. And we are now raising capital, which is very good. We need capital, sir, which is a very good step. But if like this, with no interest, even some paisa interest could have been given, declared, the deep-pocketed investor may not feel like coming. That is what my thinking on the subject. And we should get good premium, then our balance sheet will become tagada, strong. Or other way, you give it to the existing shareholders as a right. So this becomes a mini bonus. So we will also give this bank a very good thumbs up as a gift for 3 banks uniting together, strong, which our center has done. My hats up to the center. Now my query, sir. What percentage of the loan book is achieved online during this last 6 months? Second, how do you care for cyber security and hacking of accounts, debit, credit cards, etc., etc.? Number 3 is how many accounts were restructured? I'm asking percentage. I'm not asking actual number. Percentage in COVID-2. and how many in COVID-1 got the refund of penal interest on interest due to the government support? Please, percentage only. I am not asking numbers. I don't need numbers. Sir, we have a well-defined whistleblower policy. How many frauds were detected, especially from the staff involvement? Again, I say from the staff involvement. Lastly, in IBC, where the final amount comes from the persons who take, you banks, sir, you all get the money, and we shareholders of that company, whichever has gone in IBC, say I give the example of TFL, I have totally lost my money. Being the second housing loan finance company, I have totally shareholder taken cover is bank deposit. Why our government, please sir, our government representative, just think about this. And you all are very, this government is a very progressive government, and I know it will do something from that angle. Please sir, you will see that some sort of like share protection fund here, straightway those agree below 1,000 or below 2,000, not the big holders. They are supposed to study and analyst and all that, but we small person cannot make out what is happening. So please do this. Arrest, I will support all the resolutions. I am still bullish on the bank, and I know that one fine day this bank will be great, because I am also coming from a nationalized bank. And sir, now don't discontinue. Mr. Mascarenhas, my husband, he wants to share from a different angle. So please don't disconnect. Mr. AP Mascarenhas, he has also registered. You say.
Hello, can I speak, sir? Can I speak? Can I speak?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Mascarenhas is speaking.
Respected Chairman, sir, very distinguished members of the board and my fellow shareholders. Good afternoon to you all. My name is Aloysius Mascarenhas. I'm a shareholder for a very long period. So I would have some thoughts to share. First and foremost, our balance sheet is very good, transparent, adhering to all the parameters required for a good corporate governance. Our results are good. From heavy loss, we have made heavy profit. That is one thing. Our EPS has gone up. Our net worth has gone up. But sadly, sir, no dividend. We people, shareholders, mostly senior shareholders, are looking out for dividend. Our income is only dividend income and bank interest income. If dividend income we don't get, we are really the sufferers. So see to it, even a small dividend is very good. Now my next question is, how far COVID has affected our business, our employees, how many employees were affected, how many recovered, any compensation was paid, and any funds we are given to government, PM fund or CM fund or NGOs for the COVID this thing. And most importantly, are all our employees vaccinated? That is the need of the hour. If not vaccinated fully, see that they are all vaccinated. So I don't want to ask further questions because time is limited. So I end up, sir, wishing you, all the board members, and more importantly, all the employees, all the very best in the days and weeks. With this, sir, thank you very much for hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Mascarenhas. So now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Singh from Pune. Mr. Rakesh Kumar, we request you to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Singh.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Kindly proceed with asking the question, please.
Thank you, sir, and good morning. Company Secretary, MD and CEOs, and all board members and fellow shareholders. Thank you for allowing me to speak in this AGM. I am Rakesh Singh, speaking from Pune. I hope all of you and your family members are safe in this pandemic situation. I have two questions, sir. While going through the annual report, we can see that after amalgamation, the bank size is almost double. But we are not able, I am not able to compare the results of earlier results and current results. I kindly request if you can let me understand it. How can I compare the results? Second question is, what are the steps which will be taken by the bank in coming years to improve and grow the performance of the bank? So these are my two questions. Thank you again for allowing me to speak, and I wish a very good future and growth of the bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Singh. We will move on to Mr. Ashit Kumar Pathak from Calcutta. Mr. Ashit Kumar Pathak, would request you to kindly unmute yourself and start asking the question, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. Kindly proceed.
Respected Chairman, MD, Board of Directors, Company Secretary, staffs, fellow members. My name is Ashit Kumar Pathak from Kolkata. I have already casted all the two resolutions successfully in favor. Apart from this, I have some brief queries. Sir, in FSR report, 1st July 21 by RBI and made stress test GNPA by March 9.8% under the baseline, and severely financial at 22 will be 11.22%. And bank strategy to reducing the reducing policy the lower NPA and also good asset quality, and also RBI already forecasted 2 lakh crore economic dent in economic output. If possible, throw some highlight. IVC insolvency resolutions under recently bank is fully satisfactory by the leading bank, where our bank has exposure in Videocon and the resolution is ongoing, and it is not satisfactory to lenders. If possible, throw some highlights. And already PSU bank, a leading PSU bank, has fixed value-added services for basic savings bank deposit account from July 1. My bank is following the same strategy. And have my bank any exposure in cryptocurrency? Government also declared by the second wave of COVID, RBI allows recast of home, personal and small beach loans on 5th May 2021. RBI extended relief to individuals and small business who have loans up to 25 crores by allowing them to seek a loan restructuring if they affected by second wave. By this initiative, any impact in our operation, if possible, throw some highlights. RBI also provided 50,000 crore liquidity window for ramp-up health infra under the scheme of banks can lend those involved in COVID fight, including vaccine manufacturers and importers and others health sectors. My bank already take this opportunity, if possible, throw some highlights. And also 50,000 crore capital with liquidity window for service sectors. Already my bank also this opportunity, and by the way, the retail segment and small size of housing loans is uprising. So my bank also taking this opportunity for potential financial performance. And finally, government also declared financial incentives in digital payments. So my bank also take those opportunity, if possible, throw some highlights. Nothing to say more. Expected financial performance 22 is very good, apart from 21, and good health, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ashit. We move on to our next speaker, Mr. K. Sadananda Sastry from Bangalore. Mr. Sastry, request you to kindly unmute your audio and proceed with asking the question, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Are you seeing me?
Sir, you have to switch on your camera so that we will be able to see you.
1 second.
Once you click on the camera icon, after that you have to click on start sharing. Once you start sharing, we will be able to receive your audio output and video output, sir.
Okay, we'll start.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I am Sadananda Shastri from Bangalore. My number is 11702201. First of all, this virtual meeting itself is waste, sir. Neither we can approach you, nor you can reach us properly. I have been deprived with many times in participation in this meeting. Sir, in the absence of your hard copy, annual report putting us in difficulty to study well. Page number 22, 10 years at a glance. Interest income, number of branches are in positive growth, but operating gross profit finds negative growth. One happy thing is the loss of Union Bank turned to profit, that too very meager. What is the reason? Page number 214, raising of capital. Bank has decided to raise capital and offer to the government. The government money is a taxpayer's money, which should be handled with care. Banks under the impression that to provide capital, government is there, to utilize the bank is there, to advise to write off, RBI is there. It should not happen. It is dangerous also. Raising and using capital, writing off assets and again is very wrong manner. It is very in the wrong manner. Page number 222, 224. You are charging 50,000 rupees for shareholders list. Who is the buyer for that? And when the bank is in providing list of shareholders, why can't you provide annual report that we pay for it? 233, page number 233, amalgamation. We have said that amalgamation has significantly resulted in improving, but this year improvement is the effort of 2-3 banks. 2021-22 only gives the true picture of UBI. Page number 237, bank has gained very good amount of CASA deposit. Bank should ensure the better use and in profitable manner. Page number 255, bank's NPA has reached a peak. What is the strategy of the bank to reduce it? Page number 265, complaints outstanding 9,872 is on the highest side, on the higher side. What is the strategy of the bank to resolve it? Complaints damages the image of bank. Page number 291. In state-wise total number of branches, Karnataka stands second highest. Bank should provide priority service to increase further more branch and revenue. In this connection, I appeal the bank to support and provide supervisory and staff who knows the regional language. Customers will be benefited that, and the bank also will be benefited that. And please provide alternative passbook printing machine to all the branches, especially your Padmanabhanagar branch where I am dealing with. Page number 255, writing of amount to the extent of 16,984 crores is highest burden on the profit. It should not be a habitual. What steps the bank will take to stop it? Page number 295, dividend not recommended. Bank may lose its image to certain extent. Page number 321, as far as the profit, it is peculiar to note the bank has earned profit what it has lost as individually the last year. That is 2,908 crores. May we expect a double figure in the next year? CBS, that is consolidated balance sheet, page number 383. Since it is the efforts of 3 banks, we can only comment next year in 2021 and 22. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your smiling face. See you next year in Mumbai. Kindly send me a hard copy of annual report for my records. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sastry. We will move on to our next speaker, Sonakshi Sarangi from Calcutta. Ms. Sonakshi Sarangi from Calcutta, please.
Sir, can you hear me?
Request you to kindly unmute your audio.
Sir, Sanjog Sharaf, sir. Sonakshi Sarangi not joined, sir. Please unmute Sanjog Sharaf, sir.
Mr. Sanjog Sharaf, we will call up your name as the list is proceeding. We have not yet ended the Q&A session. Thank you. Sonakshi Sarangi has now joined from Calcutta is a confirmation that we have received. So we'll move on to our next speaker, Humayun Behruz Apordehi from Mumbai.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Hear you? Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So, yes, I'm from Bombay. We used to attend all the physical AGMs and we used to meet Mr. Raj personally and all our board members personally. We missed that. We missed the personal touch. We missed also your hospitality. Do you know? Your hospitality which you serve us in the KC college canteen. How we can forget that? Everything was taken for granted. Now we see we know the value. Well, we hope next year we are able to meet physically. Now, so just few things I want to say. So, insurance is for 5 lakhs, but we have more money in the bank. That will not be protected. This is a nationalized bank. I hope my money will be protected. You're middle class people, so please, I'm going to wait here till you answer my question. What about if I have 20, 30 lakhs in the bank? You're only giving me insurance for 5 lakhs and that too in a nationalized bank. So what is happening to our Indian banking system? Please let me know. So one more thing. We had Corporation Bank. It got shifted to Kalba TV Union Bank. Of course, Union Bank I'm having since my teenage days. My account is there. I have no problem at all. But so tell me, in this Kalba TV branch, whenever I go there, your net is down and I'm not able to update my passbook and I have to file an IT return. Please do something. This is Digital India. Digital India. How long will this go? Please do something about the digital and net. When we go to the bank, we can't update passbook and I have to file my IT return. My CA says like that. Please do something. Please take that into account. So another thing is that you have merged. So there must have been so many problems, merger issues. So you have increased the capital. So in what you are going to spend the capital, which you have increased in Union Bank. So your demat statement is very safe with Union Bank. So, but you should also have a trading account, like in Standard Chartered. Now to have a trading account, I have to remove the demat from your bank. How will I sell and buy? I have to shift it to some broker who help me to sell and buy. No, I like Union Bank itself. Please do a trading account like Standard Chartered is having a trading account also. And so you have less number of staff. Still you all have to manage. So in Bombay, developed by local trains. So what about other parts of India? Is transportation there? Do your bank officials have problem? Your staff in attending your branch? I want to know. So and what clients have not been able to pay you? So do you know 6 lakhs of a hard-earned money in the secure non-convertible debentures we have lost in DHFL? And so remember, we are middle-class people, not corporate clients. So now, next time also, so you please let us know your speaker number. So I don't want to say more. Just whatever I have told you, please look into it. The net problem and the digital problem, and I'm still not able to update my book. And my CA is always telling me, please bring the passbook. We have to file IT returns. That's all. We wish you all the best. We are really missing you and all your board members' physical presence. Next year we will go ahead and have it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Humayun. We'll now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Hiranand Kotwani from Ulhasnagar. Mr. Hiranand, we request you to kindly unmute yourself and go speak.
I am audible. Yes, gentlemen. Yes, I am here.
Sure. Please proceed with asking your question. You are audible, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Hiranand, request.
Yes, yes. Video is not working. Your video, okay? Okay, I am listening. Okay.
Thank you.
Is it not working?
It's working, sir. You can just click on the camera icon and then click on start sharing. Thank you.
Start sharing. I done it.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Just I will go to the business point. That will be better. Chairman of this meeting, Mr. and MD Rajkiran Raiji, and other dignitary, namaste to all. I will come to the business. It is a threefold jump, gentlemen. Mr. Raj, you are hearing? My audio is not clear, gentlemen. Hello?
Sir, you are audible.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We are able to.
Okay. It's a threefold jump. Amalgamation took us the huge family base, particularly threefold, not a twofold. So what is the strategy, vision and mission in this regard? Because huge jump in the branches, huge jump in the NPA, huge jump in bad debt. How do you recover? And the training is required. I visited one of the branch at Ulhasnagar Corporation Bank, become deemed to be Union Bank. They're working up to 4 o'clock, but they are not entertaining up to 3:55. The ATM was not working. I gone to the bank and complained it. No, we will not enter at 3:55 for cash of 8,000 rupees. So there is surgical change. Surgical need is to improve all the branches, particularly Andhra and this corporation bank, rigorous training, their work culture. So again, I here to give that even when I complained that original manager phone came, I'll give written complaint, but no phone has come. Because the working of the bank is important, branches are important for the future of this organization. There is a huge problem, particularly branch level. You have to visit and see that amenities for the employees and the customer. And this pandemic had given a blessing in disguise, teaches lessons. Huge lines, gentlemen, old people standing on the queue, but no urinary and water facility in the bank. Some collapse. How you see that this 21st century India, huge capital base, huge manpower, huge education, but facilities, Stone Age, last Stone Age facility. So we have to improve at various levels. Gentlemen, you are hearing, Mr. Rai. Mr. Rai.
Yeah, you please go ahead. We are able to hear you.
Because there are so many complaints, but I'll come back to not to this is not actually particularly what is new innovation and synergy you talk cost reduction, but UNPA. What is the amount involved in DRT, ARC, and NCLT? What is our NPA to the public sector and private sector? If you distribution, give me the figures. I'll be thankful. Please, what is your plan regarding the future of the dividend? You see, the dividend you are not given. Right now we see the NPA, but further us as a shareholder long term, day one shareholder, even customer. If dividend is not there, for us it is the NPA bank. So please look into that. Long term vision and mission should be there to improve all level in dividend, growth and prosperity. Not only growth, your growth is threefold, but your profit is not there. Carry forward NPA and losses are there. So please look into that. And what do you call this regard? Thank you.
Thank you. I'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Suraj Suresh from Chennai. Mr. Suraj Suresh from Chennai. Would request you to kindly unmute yourself and speak, please. Well, we have not received any input from Mr. Suraj Suresh. The next speaker is Bharti Saraf, but Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf has already spoken from Bharti Saraf's login ID. So we'll be moving on to the next speaker, Mr. Sanju Saraf from Calcutta.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Sanju, you are audible, sir.
Sir, I have requested for this in the KFIN portal. We are facing lot of challenges, sir. After we can see that the opening is there on between 7 and 8. We have to do the speaker registration, but there is no speaker registration option of Union Bank available at that particular time. So such discrepancies, lot of shareholders are facing. So what steps the management is taking to overcome all these things? I would request you to please change KFIN, and these people are creating tremendous trouble for the investor fraternity, and we are not able to register for most of the annual general body meetings, and they are just cornering us on the basis of technical grounds. So I would request you to please take necessary action against KFIN. So then, I would like to know, trust all is well with you and your family in this challenging situation. Our company deserves much more respect than the current market cap after completing more than a decade of successful operations, profitability, and becoming one of the strongest banks in our respective industry segment. So we would like to know, most of the questions other shareholders have asked, so I don't want to repeat my questions. I have some issues with the Union Bank when the merger has taken place.
We understand that Andhra Bank got merged with Union Bank, and I have raised this particular issue in the last year annual general body meeting as well, but management has not taken it very seriously, and I have not received any call or any reply from the company secretary or neither of your bank's team. Andhra Bank, I hold 50 folios, sir, physical folios. So for that 50 folios, I have been sent, since the stock got merged with Union Bank, and they have sent me the fractional payment of the shares to my residential address by way of check, and those checks around 40 rupees checks, 35 rupees checks have been bounced by my bank, State Bank of India. That Union Bank has rejected the payment. So when Union Bank is in a position of acquiring Andhra Bank, you should be in a position to release funds to the shareholders of Andhra Bank. And when you have dispatched the check, it is bound to be cleared. And in fact, all those checks have been bounced, and I have been charged 160 rupees for each and every check of rupees 40. For 50 checks, I have been charged 160 rupees. More than 9,000 rupees I have paid as a bouncing charge, and I have made this complaint to Union Bank, and Union Bank has never bothered to reply in the last year annual general body meeting. Sir, please look at it, sir. I have already shared the details to the email, sir. 50 checks in bounce. So when Andhra Bank got merged with Union Bank, you are supposed to pay to the Andhra Bank shareholders, and now 40 rupees check I have been charged 160 rupees. The reason is not known till date. Please help me, sir, in this particular issue. And the other issue is with the Corporation Bank, sir. Corporation Bank also got merged with Union Bank, and now I am facing KYC difficulties. So many of my checks have been returned. So many of my dividend warrants have been transferred to Investor Education Protection Fund by the companies. Certain companies, I have lost my shares as well. My shares are also being transferred to the Investor Education Protection Fund, and this is only due to the negligence of Union Bank. After merger of Corporation Bank, you are supposed to send the new checkbooks and new passbooks to the investor fraternity, to the account holders of Corporation Bank. In fact, that is not being done. Until that, we are still having the checks of Corporation Bank, and we have been using those checks for cash withdrawal, and most of the payments are getting rejected, and even our KYC is being rejected by the stockbroker integrated where we hold our demat account. So such should not be the case, sir. And last week also I met the manager. He has said we have to receive the passbooks from Manipal, and it has to get printed over there. Until that, we have not received any kind of passbook in the name of Union Bank, and they are just asking us to use the same checks of Corporation Bank, and there is a government order, an RBI order to use the Corporation Bank checks till September 30, but KYC is rejected. MICR code is being provided of Corporation Bank. Union Bank details are not being provided. I have asked for a certificate as well. Even that is not being provided to us by the Union Bank 9 Upper Street South Carpet branch. I would request your good sirs to kindly take necessary action against those particular branch, and I will share all my details, account details as well as the folio details of Andhra Bank, so that to take immediate action to be taken. Sir, I would request your company secretary or your concerned team to get in touch with me so that I can share all those details, because I don't want to waste your time in this public platform and to spoil the name of the bank. So please look into this. This is a very serious issue, sir. Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank are now presently known as Union Bank. So it is your bounded responsibility to take it very seriously and resolve the issues what those account holders are facing. And in Corporation Bank, we had an issue when Tata Steel rights issue came. I have paid for Tata Steel rights issue. There was two options. One is partly paid, and the other one is fully paid. Those people, they have that form color itself varies. So partly paid is yellow color and fully paid is white color. But in fact, they have treated the fully paid itself as a partly paid, and all my shares have been rejected. And today the stock Tata Steel is being traded 1,400 rupees. I was being given a privilege to pay the share at rupees 400 rupees to get fully paid. So I have lost 1,000 rupees per share in each and every right. So all these things, Corporation Bank was responsible, and I have made a complaint to the manager, and now Union Bank is responsible, and those people are never bothered to reply. Sir, the Mint Street Bank, I would request your good sirs to look into Corporation Bank, which got shifted to 9 Street, Mint Street, Chennai. I would request to take immediate action against them. Nothing much to ask, sir. Any questions to my accounts, I have already sent to email, sir. I don't want to repeat the same queries, and other questions have been raised by other fellow shareholders. Nothing much to ask. I wish the company and the board of directors a great success and prosperity in the coming future. Thank you for giving the opportunity, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjog. But I request Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala to kindly unmute, as he was not able to speak initially. Mr. Yusuf, you can proceed with asking your question, please. Thank you. Mr. Yusuf, you have muted yourself.
Yes,
Kindly
sir.
unmute and proceed. Yes, sir. Please go ahead with asking your question, sir.
Yeah, respected chairman, this is I am very happy with our company's acquisition team after a corporation bank and Andhra bank. This bank become a largest bank, sir, Union Bank. इसका sir आपका sir first I will wish our bank for the Peacock Award as you mentioned. And sir आपका आप sir इतने dynamic और आप इतने hard working आज अपना बैंक sir बाकी में अपने down and 1 rupee sir it will come sir. I'm very happy with our bank सर इतने अच्छा है आई स्टेट सिद्धपुर सर वहाँ पे अपना यूनियन बैंक का ब्रांचेस है गुजरात नॉर्थ सर अफ्रीका सर मेरा काका रहते हैं कनाडा में वहाँ पे भी आपका कनाडा अफ्रीका आपका ऑल ओवर इंडिया में आपका ब्रांचेस है ये दिखा आई एम वेरी अवर दिस ईयर वी आर इन अ गुड प्रॉफिट
We have again lost Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala. Sorry about it. We will move on to our last speaker, Mr. Padmanabhan, AA from Chennai. Sir, we request you to kindly proceed with asking your question.
Ganesh Chaturji, sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Padmanabhan ji. We request you to kindly
hello.
and speak. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, at least in the end of the session. Before expressing my views and raising some points, I would like to have one clarification. That is, usually every day morning, I will go through the capital market website to see the rates. So today also, when I opened and saw, I saw a message under Union Bank of India corporate news. UBA has cancelled the AGM of the company, which was scheduled to be held on 10th August 21. I don't know how this news has come under this. So now, with regard to other things, anyway, just I want to check up and went to this website, and I subsequently came to know some meeting is going to be held. Probably that news may be a wrong news. So I don't know, anyway, for you it is better to check up and why it has come there. It's very important for you. Now at the outset, I congratulate the management and board for the excellent performance in 2021 and for the first quarter for making 1180 crores profit. And Mr. MD has also informed during his speech that your bank has come to third position, elevated from the earlier 8th position. It's very good. A number of awards have been achieved, and I congratulate you once again for that. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, as a shareholder, if I see, my value is eroded by 67 to 80%. I don't know. We are having 9,315 plus branches in India and 3 overseas branches and 2 subsidiaries. And when I went through the annual report, the overseas operations are not at all remunerative. I don't know what is the purpose of continuing it. How long it has been continuing like this, I don't know. Then with regard to these branches also, probably this number has come because of the merger. So, anytime whether the bank has taken any exercise to study these branches, how many of these 9,300 plus branches have been continuously either making profits or making losses, at least for study purpose for the last 3 years. Suppose out of 9,315 branches, about 500 branches have been incurring continuous losses for the 3 years. There is no point in continuing them. And I also notice that there are 13 CGMs, 58 GMs are there, 4 EDs are there, 78,000 plus staff are there, and total business is 15 lakh crores. So with this gigantic, I should say it is a gigantic institution. But performance-wise, Union Bank has to go far, far away. It is far, far away from the good governance. With regard to non-performing assets also, what I notice is It is more than double from the last financial year 2019-20 to 2021. So what is the kind of strategy or NPA management you are having? I don't know, but I have some suggestions to make. I don't know whether now you have time to hear, or maybe I can send to your company secretary in due course, which you can go through. And if you are not already implementing any of those things, I'm sure if you implement at least a few of them, definitely your NPA will go down and you can have better recovery performance and you can make better profits. This is what I want to say. And then, okay, already some of my earlier speakers spoke about the dividend. We don't know when the next dividend is expected. But last year, I think the government of India has imposed restriction not to pay any dividend. That is why probably you have not paid. That is okay. But still, I don't know when you will be able to pay the dividend. So I only request you to make best use of this gigantic business. 15 lakh crores is not a small money. And the staff, you are having huge staff. If you don't require that much staff, you give options for, you say voluntary retirement or something like that. When we are not able to make profits, what the next option is, how you can curtail your expenditure by closing down the branches, by giving VRS to the people and introducing some new things, new systems, procedures. Now you can make more effective use of the staff. So with these few words, I thank you very much, Managing Director, EDs and other directors and the staff also. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Padmanabhan. Chairman sir, with that we come to the end of all the registered speaker shareholders been provided an opportunity to come up and ask their questions. I hand it back to the board to continue with the session.
I'm happy to know the shareholders' interest in the bank's activities. It's a pleasure. Actually, I also miss the physical meeting what we used to have. But anyway, it is the COVID situation. Hope that by next year, our country will be fully vaccinated and we'll again go back to the physical meetings, which we also enjoy interacting with our shareholders. We have taken note of all the suggestions and will consider implementation wherever it is found feasible. So some of the observations I'll respond, and some of the questions like which are relating to the annual report and all that, we'll try to respond to the shareholder directly. So some of the issues which are raised pertain to the digital banking, the net banking, and the branch working. So we are continuously striving to improve our technology platforms. Today, our mobile banking is serving nearly 1.3 crore customers. Similarly, the net banking also has improved a lot. So there are some comments on this thing. We'll definitely take those suggestions and try to improve the working so that we'll be able to serve you better. Similarly, the branch working, there are a lot of comments received, but we need to understand that the last year we were going through a technology integration because of the amalgamation, and also we were facing one of the biggest epidemic of the century, and there are a lot of disturbance. So we definitely understand that there were issues in service, but then our employees, despite such a big risk to their health, they used to come and serve. And as public sector, I feel proud that we are designated as COVID warriors, the front line trying to serve the customer despite all the difficulties. But I understand the concern of the shareholders on the, certain specific issues on the branch working. We will definitely take care of those issues. And there were suggestions that after the amalgamation, are we looking at rationalization of branches and whether it will cut cost and all that. I want to inform the shareholders that we have identified branches which are in the closure vicinity, about 700 branches which can be amalgamated without disturbing the customer service because they are in the close vicinity. Out of that, last year we are able to close 277 branches already, and the other branches will be closed during the year. Similarly, we have rationalized our ATM network also. At the same time, we are looking for opportunities for opening branches. When we are closing these branches because they are in the close vicinity, we are also looking at new areas for opening branches. Already 19 new branch licenses are issued and they are in the process of getting opened, and we are looking for more opportunities. There was a question on women employees. We are also greatly concerned about this. We take care. We have good policies for taking care of our women employees, and very happy to share with the shareholders that 28% of our workforce today is consisting of women employees, and we have good policies to take care. And on the vaccination side also, 56% of our employees are vaccinated, and we are taking all the steps to ensure that the 100% of our employees and their families are vaccinated as early as possible to serve you better and also to make them safer. On the business side, there are a lot of suggestions on the profitability, on the NPA issues. I would like to touch generally on the issues, but some specific queries we'll send you the replies separately. Seeing NPA is a problem which started mounting over last 4 or 5 years, and our bank has taken very proactive steps to recognize and provide for these losses, and our provisioning coverage ratio is about 81% today. That indicates that the stress in the book is fully covered as of now. So, in the last year profitability and the first quarter profitability is giving you sufficient indication that the bank has turned the corner and we are on the profitable ways. And since the COVID wave is not completely over, still certain risks are associated when we make these projections. But then we are fairly confident that with the working what we have done in the last 4 or 5 quarters during the COVID period, that the bank has turned around for good, and now we are in a good profitable way. And the business wise also we are doing very well. So hopefully, because many of the shareholders raised the concern on dividend, even though made a profit of 2,906 crores of profit in the last year, we could not declare dividends for certain regulatory and the other issues. But then definitely with the way we look forward for sharing the profits with our stakeholders, definitely as early as possible when we have the required reserves for sharing with the shareholders. Because we went through a lot of difficulties for the last 4 or 5 years, worked very hard to bring the bank to a solid platform. Yes, we look forward for sharing the profits with the shareholders as early as possible. I'll assure you that the way the bank is working, we can shortly look forward for dividend announcements also. But then it takes some more time because the COVID wave is still not over. There are some uncertainties around. There is a lot of concern on the NPAs. See, immediately after the amalgamation, we have taken all steps to take care by creating a vertical separately to handle NPA. And this can be one of the best vertical in the system today, which is called the stressed asset management vertical. We have opened asset recovery branches across the country, and these NPAs are specially handled by a team of people who are handling only the NPAs. There is a substantial improvement in recoveries now, which you can make out from the results declared, and we look forward for further recoveries. Now, as recoveries are happening, we are getting write-backs also, which is also aiding the profitability of the bank. So we have taken all steps possible, and some of the shareholders have given suggestions. We will definitely look at those suggestions also, so that further improve the NPA recoveries. But I can assure my shareholders that the NPA management is definitely is at top of the agenda for the management team and the board, and there is a regular review on all the aspects of NPA, the fresh slippages, recoveries, and the steps taken. And we assure you, the stakeholders, that definitely by the end of the year, we will be having much better numbers on the NPA side. On the employee side, actually, we have assessed the requirement of the manpower. With the rationalization of branches, redeployment of manpower is also happening. And by the end of the year, we will have a correct picture. And accordingly, we will plan whether we need to recruit additional people or not. That call will be taken. And we have some preliminary assessments with the kind of business growth what we are planning. we may need additional manpower, even though bank has not done much recruitment during this year, but next year we may need people, and with that, because one of the shareholders raised a concern on the employment issue. So, there are contrary views on that, but then yes, the basic needs of the customer have to be met. The basic, the business need to keep going. So required recruitments will be done. So with this, actually, there are certain issues which are very general concerning the industry. So that issues we will try to give you wherever it is possible a direct reply. With this, I would like to stop here and thank all the stakeholders for their active participation. So now we'll proceed to close the AGM. The Insta poll, that is voting during the AGM, will open now for 15 minutes to enable shareholders who have not yet voted to cast their vote. The scrutinizers will ensure the smooth conduct of the e-voting now. The consolidated results of remote e-voting and e-voting during the AGM, along with the consolidated report of the scrutinizer, shall be placed on the website of the bank. The voting results and consolidated scrutinizer's report shall simultaneously be communicated to the stock exchanges, that is BSE and NSE. Thank you for your presence and support at the meeting in this difficult time. Thank you so much.